They're like kilometers long, these trains. It's way down there, and it's still going for quite a while. And I can't get transport if I get this job without going bankrupt. It'll be like a third of my salary from the summer. Canada.
It was a frozen, hostile wasteland, and there was much work to be done if we were to survive the elements.
But it's really about surviving our own stupidity, and all signs point that we won't. Because industry is not just profiting the elites. I mean, it's something, the norm, the villains of history, not the elites. The majority, the norm, are addicted to. And, fighting for their human rights when they don't even want to respect the human rights of their closest loved ones is kind of a moot point. So yeah, again, I'm like semi-retired, folks. Like, I know, you might let me have an impact somewhere in a small part of a community as the failed species you are, if you really have a need of something that nobody around can do, and then I incorporate a lot of other of my skill sets to be a better helper in ways that most of you can't realize because you won't pay attention. But it's still the limits of what I can hope for. I mean, a girlfriend is extremely unlikely. A job that lasts more than 6 months is extremely unlikely. And again, I've documented many times, it's not because I did anything wrong. I said, well, this is who I am. This is how I'll act. This is what your mission statement is. Good, because I will impress you with how I'll be doing a good job at it, except when nobody else does. Yeah, well, that's what happens, right? People are uncomfortable with witches that actually don't just talk the talk, but they walk the talk. Yeah, like not that long ago, I'd be pretty worried about what's happening on Vancouver Island right now. Not because I'd still live there at the time, but because, there's people I care about there, but for me to pace myself and be productive when I care about so many people that I'm worried about, kids I've worked with in the past, or youth that, depend on adults being rational when they can't tell how they're not yet. I could tell again, like before kindergarten, if I want to give myself panic attacks or emotional distress that makes me not even functional to have a job, then yeah, sure, I'll keep worrying about everybody I care about, but eventually you gotta let go, A racketeer I think about the most and I miss a lot. Actually, my not-for-profit is named after her. She had unlimited potential. Of course, will it be developed in the communities that she mingles with? Her own ethnicities of origins, and it probably will, but with limits. Not realizing, and I never met anybody, including the relatives of this young lady, who knew how unlimited her potential was, and who could, I wonder where that trail goes, who would never really stop growing as a person, although most of the norm would always consider her to be, developmentally disabled or learner challenged, when really her brain's going at her own pace, but nothing's going to stop her if you don't get in her way. I kind of miss her, and she's the one maybe I'd maybe not worry about the most, as if there's cause to worry about her more, but because of how special she is. Just like Greta, right? How special she is for her potential. But the thing is she's the best swimmer in the family, so I'm pretty sure if she sees water nearby and there's a fire going towards her, that water is a comfortable place for her to be. So I miss you, Haya. I hope you're doing all right, but I'm not even gonna, can't help any of you guys, and I'm not even gonna try to find out how you're doing. The racketeers have been pretty much destroyed by Filipino culture, and it was supposed to be lifelong learners. So many examples I can give you that Filipino culture is pretty much 180 degrees the opposite of being lifelong learners. As soon as they get a niche for employment, that's pretty much what they stick with, and they'll try to get their kids in employment, but they often won't give them a chance of what that is. They'll choose for them. That's pretty sad stuff, I tell you that. And again, that's an example of human trafficking that's allowed because of how subhuman our cultures are.